Unless you've been living under a rock, I'm pretty sure you know that the PMP exam is updated at this point. Today, we're not going over that precisely, but we're going to go over something that's actually moved. And that's all about the risk performance domain, why PMI moved it, and what that means, whether you're PMP certified already, you're mid PMI RMP exam prep, or you're running real projects, real risks right now. And this can be especially useful if you've got your eye on the PMI RMP exam, because the RMP, it hasn't updated yet. It's still working off a 2023 exam content outline, and I haven't heard of when it's going to start reflecting the PMBOK 8th edition yet. But PMI does have a track record here that we have to know about, and we can use what just happened with the PMP to reasonably anticipate what's coming next for the risk side associated to the risk management professional certification. So let's break down exactly what has changed right now and how you can use it to get ahead of it in the future. So let's ground this into what has actually happened at this point, because PMI updated the risk management tells you nothing unless I actually give you some of the details. So the 7th edition of the PMBOK back in 2021 shifted the whole PMBOK guide away from what was processes and towards the whole performance domains. So broad areas of focus instead of a step-by-step procedure. Risk became a domain built on concepts. So we talked about risk exposure, project resilience, ambiguity versus uncertainty were the big things in PMBOK 7th. It was good philosophy, but it was thin on the mechanics that came around risk management. But PMI went back to the market and they asked the practitioners, what do you actually want? What do you want to hear about when it comes to risk management? How are you applying this? And 80% said bring back process groups. 79% said bring back the processes themselves the way they were. So the 8th edition does both. It keeps the performance domain structure, but reinforced 40 processes. It has the full ITTOs, inputs, tools, techniques, and outputs embedded directly inside those domains. Now for risk specifically, that means there's now a risk performance domain, and that contains 6 explicit ITTO backed processes instead of the concepts you had in past PMBOKs. But we didn't lose the processes that we all know. Plan risk management, identify risk, perform risk analysis, plan risk responses, implement risk responses, monitor risks. And if you're on the RMP track, this is the backbone of the entire exam. This is what everything sits on. And the process chain is about to matter more than you think for one specific reason. And I'm going to get to that. Now, when you look at this up front, this is something that's easy to miss. PMBOK 8th edition didn't just bring the processes back, it wired in AI, and it put that directly into the risk domains, tools, and techniques overall. We had to identify risks, now explicitly list AI as a data gathering technique alongside brainstorming, checklists, and interviews. There's dedicated guidance on AI use cases inside the risk domain, covering identification, risk responses, even a risk-adjusted ROI analysis. Now, I don't want you to think that this is a footnote. PMI's own research flagged AI and sustainability as 2 trends prior to this edition that had not been addressed yet in any documentation, and both got folded into job tasks analysis behind our current PMP exam. So practically, that means that a risk register conversation in 2026 should include a line for somewhere where it lists AI-assisted pattern detection, because we need to fit AI-assisted pattern detection into risk identification. And we got to make sure that it doesn't replace expert judgment, but it just fits in. It helps out. It supplements identification. This is simply an AI risk layer, not a replacement for your existing processes. It's an added input sitting alongside the ones that you already trust. And I preach this in everything I talk about. AI should be used in this, but you cannot rely 100% on it. You still need that golden rule, human in the loop. And for exam purposes, expect scenario questions to start popping up about AI augmenting identification analysis rather than just owning the decision. So again, AI augments, it does not make the decision right now. And that distinction is exactly the kind of nuance that PMI loves to test. So if you're a PMP holder right now, what do you got to stop doing differently? Well, you've already sat through the domain weight exchange. So here's the part that you're going to skip most of the time. What actually happens inside task 5 now is that risk has a real process behind it again. In that July 2026 PMP exam content outline, it reflects this. Domain 3, Task 5, plan and manage risks explicitly is called out. Sustainability risks and AI influence risk responses are put right into those enablers. That task sits inside the business environment that sits for 26% of the PMP exam. So this whole concept is something that you not just need to know, but you need to grasp and understand. So 3 things to actually do right now. First, stop studying risk as a definition list. Start studying it as a process chain. Know what feeds identify risk, know what comes out of perform a risk analysis, because scenario questions are going to increase on the PMP, not just the vocabulary associated to them. Second, when a risk response question mentions AI or automation, default to augment, don't replace, okay? Use that as a filter for eliminating wrong answers. And third, the one PMP holders you're going to probably miss out is reread how risk now cross-references finance and resources directly, because reserve allocation and resilience are linked in the 8th edition in a way they weren't before. Now, what if you're an RMP and you're anticipating this update? Like, you don't know if you're taking an exam right now, but I'm telling you that it's not on the books, but I'm sure it's going to come in the future. So let's talk a little bit about that real quick and think ahead based off what we're seeing with the PMP. Your document, the ECO, PMI uses it to build the exam. The last one was published in 2023. The PMBOK 8 came out last year. PMP ECO change 2026 this year. And the RMP ECO hasn't caught up yet. That's not a scandal. It's just sequencing. PMI typically updates the PMP first. It's the golden ticket. It is their baby of a certification. But once that's updated, now they can work through the other certifications. And here's why that's useful information instead of a problem. We just watched this exact rollout happen for the PMP last month. Domain weights shifted. Risk-specific terminology started reflecting PMBOK 8 language before the ECO document actually caught up. So if you're studying for the RMP right now, you can reasonably expect the same pattern, where exam questions may start reflecting some 8th edition risk process language before PMI formally revises that exam content outline. And that's not a trap. That's a predictable rollout, and now you know what to watch for. And here's what you also need to do specifically. Cross-reference every risk task in your current RMP ECO against the 8th edition 6 risk processes and note where the language differs. And don't panic about it. Just recognize it because if it shows up early. B, because you're a risk professional and you should understand these concepts. And I want you to pay particular attention to risk exposure and project resilience. Both existed in the 7th edition and now sit underneath an explicit response process in the 8th. And this is exactly what the domain analysis that I jumped through in my Notion document on the exam content outline breakdown for the RMP, also known as my RMP study guide. It's mapped against the current exam content outline language, so you can see some of the differences as I call out 8th edition as I see it. I'm going to throw the link down in the description where you can pick that up. Now, if you're not testing for anything and you're just running risk on real projects, this still needs to land on your desk. Your organization's risk management plan, it certainly still reflects some 7th edition language, if not some 6th edition, and you need to make sure update it to the 8th edition. The fix is to add a line in your risk identification technique for AI-assisted pattern detection and name who owns interpreting the output, because that ownership question is exactly where I'm seeing AI flagged risks get logged and then nobody actually acts on them and does anything. Then I want you to revisit how you're discussing risk exposure with your sponsor. The 8th edition frames it as an aggregate measure across the whole portfolio or project, not just at a point in time. Not a per risk score. So if your reporting still treats it as a line item math, that's a conversation worth having with your PMO before your next steering committee. Now, here's where this all fits into the bigger picture. Whether you're early in the CAPM and you're just getting into this project management space, or if you're building towards that PMP, or you're wanting to specialize as a PMI risk management professional. Each credential builds up its own specific level of risk fluency. And again, if you want my domain by domain breakdown of where the current RMP exam content outline sits, then head down to the link, pick up that Notion ECO breakdown. The link is below. And if you want to go deeper with people working through the exact material right now, my community is the next step. Head to 44riskpm.com and you can get access to that and my RMP exam prep course schedule for what's coming up. Now, if you want to see how PMI is defining complexity in 2026 based off the PMBOK 8th edition and how I map this to risk management, then check out this video right here where I talk all about that. All right, I'll see you later. 44riskpm out.